So this video is a little honesty and a little, maybe a little humor, but it's mishaps when traveling as a person who's blind. And I travel with a white cane. I've mentioned my white cane in past videos. Slim, he's skinnier than me. I'm a little jealous of Slim, you know. But this is about traveling, and so I've been traveling with a white cane for a long time now, and I was traveling, and I was an orientation mobility instructor and trained other people who are blind or visually impaired how to travel. But even before that, when I was in graduate school with my white cane, I remember I was walking to a fast food place to go grab lunch one day, and I was crossing streets. I was crossing these controlled roads that were entering into a bigger road that had a divider, so they could only turn right at the stop sign. And I was crossing this one little street. I had crossed a number of streets already, and I was out into the middle, and this car rolls up, and then it accelerates and hits me, and I remember it hitting my legs and my body hitting the hood and windshield a little bit, not as much the windshield, truthfully. And I remember being in pain and on the hood, and I still had the tiniest bit of vision, and I could see into the window. I remember I think the car was reddish, and there was a woman inside. I don't remember anything about what the woman looked like. And I rolled off the hood. It wasn't moving, and she didn't even roll down the window and just left. And I was like crying a bit, honestly, and I was in a lot of pain. And I remember my legs were bleeding from I guess from the fender hitting my legs, and before I ended up on the hood. But I was already across in the street. I was following the rules of there was traffic going by, so like it gives me even a safer time to cross. Yeah, the person had only been looking to the left, so they didn't look at all in front of them as they came up. They maybe they did for a second, or they just missed me, but I was in front of the driver's side already. And so that was one time, and I was following all the rules, and sometimes things happen. Yeah, and then another time I was in Brooklyn. I was doing my student teaching in Brooklyn, and I was walking back. I think it was on Halloween or the day before Halloween, and no, it wasn't. It was a Friday, and I was crossing this little street. I crossed all these streets, and I was going at the time where cars were, and I was halfway across the crosswalk, and all of a sudden I hear coming from the wrong direction on a one-way, and I hear and I get hit really hard, like crushed, and I fall down into the edge of the intersection there, and I'm on the ground, and I'm like, I didn't know what happened, and I get up, and I feel what hit me, and the person doesn't get out of what it was. It was a forklift from a little grocery. The guy had pulled off the sidewalk, pulling out stuff, and pulled back and didn't look at all, and crushed me with the back end of a forklift. And I was crying again. There seems to be a theme here: get hit with large vehicle, cry. But I suck it up, and I'm like limping, and I know I'm bleeding underneath in my legs, and I don't know what else, but I was trying to get to the subway station, and I limp onto the sidewalk, and I think someone says, "Are you okay?" Not the person who hit me. I didn't think they didn't even want to address it. They didn't say one word to me, and so I'm on the side. I'm like, I don't know. I think so, and I just limp. It's only a few buildings down to the subway station. And I'm like, I get there, I get on the subway, and I remember just being in so much pain and being uncomfortable, because it was a nice like hour and 50-minute commute back to Jersey City. I take the Q to the B to the PATH train into Jersey City, and and just, yeah, I was following my rules of crossing the street. You just can't account for forklifts. You know, you can't trust a forklift driver, that's for sure. No offense to forklift drivers. Actually, some offense to forklift drivers. So that was another time. And I have to say, on that first story, I actually made it to my destination. I went in and I was kind of limping in, and I went in and got some napkins to wipe off my legs. I had shorts on, I remember, and I was bleeding a bit on my legs, so I wiped off with napkins. I still ordered my food. They were like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I think so." And I walked back to my apartment and cleaned up more there. No hospitals involved in either case, luckily, and just some cuts and bruises. The last time I think that I was in Las Vegas crossing at a red light with my buddy who can see, and a taxi driver started to accelerate through the red light, and he just tapped, just gently tapped. It was very lightly tapped, and we hit his hood and stuff. Like, he didn't hurt me at all, so but I don't know what he was thinking. But it's amazing. Like, you can follow all the rules in the world, and you still can get hurt out there in the world, and that's for anyone. So anyone who's not blind or visually impaired as well goes through mishaps. Yeah, I just being honest out there. I'm considered a very good traveler, and you know, you just never know. All of those cases were a long time ago. I think the last one was probably 2006. It's been a long time of traveling without something like that. Not to say I haven't made mistakes otherwise, but I thought those were good to share. Have a great day. I'm Joe Strechay, and you can find my other videos on YouTube. Take care.